John,
Yes.
things have happened. There have been developments. I have excellent news for you.
What?
A few weeks ago on DF Direct Weekly, I think you'll recall that you unfairly impugned the reputation of AMD's Radeon 7.
I did, yes.
You mixed it up with the Vega 7 graphics within an integrated
Yeah, I
laptop
did.
chip.
But it
And
got me
that
hungry.
could not be allowed to stand. So, the first thing I did was to get my Radeon 7 out of storage and to show you its true unbridled power. The problem is it didn't work anymore. So you can see in the background there, it's now returned as a kind of ornament,
In the window.
if you like, within my office. But look at this,
No way.
this baby.
He got it. He got a new one. It's a new Radeon 7.
I have a new Radeon 7. Well, it's not new because
sure.
it's been out of production for quite some time. But I have to send a shout out to, let's have a quick look here, Chris86, DF
Chris.
supporter.
Oh, yeah.
Who,
That's great.
He saw one of these on I think it was a Swiss auction site. And he says he wants to support the DF project, so he acquired it and sent it my way. Now the question is, how are we going to test this baby?
Oh, we need to come up with a suite. Yeah.
Well, this has been sort of dovetailing into my thoughts on how you would reassess an old GPU for modern times, right? And I'm going to send you a link on Slack actually, and you can see what I've done there. And what I have done is I have stacked up the Radeon 7 up against the PlayStation 5 using our new PlayStation 5 benchmarking suite and the Radeon RX 6700, which is the closest equivalent part to the PlayStation 5 within the graphics space at the moment. And we're going to kick off with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora here, as you can see. And we can go through the methodology. I mean, it's all in the PlayStation 5 6700 video. But look, Radeon 7. This is a 2019 GPU. No ray tracing support. It's running Avatar.
Wait, I can't see the link. It says video unavailable.
You have to log into the DF
I
YouTube,
am.
John.
You have to be on the DF Clips channel.
Oh, it's a clips. Okay, got it.
I had to hide the surprise from you.
You did. You successfully did it. Okay, I found it.
He did.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so, check that out. It's not too bad, but, bearing in mind there's ray tracing involved here. But, Alex, there's a fallback for this, right?
There's a software fallback. It's very interesting. It works and looks pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, but, looking at the scores here, PlayStation 5, 52 FPS, Radeon 7, 45.6. So, that fallback's working okay. It's not bad, right?
Right, and then we get to the next scene. Next game.
The next scene, yeah. This one is Hitman, which is a game which has a bizarre underperformance issue on PlayStation 5. You can see there that the PC GPU, the 6700, that's closest to PlayStation 5, wipes the floor with it.
It does.
And Radeon 7 is outperforming PlayStation 5 here in Hitman. Let's just bring up the stats here on this China scene. China, as Donald Trump would say. 56.4 FPS average on PlayStation 5, 72.9 on Radeon 7. So another great Radeon win, I would say.
Somebody give me the trash can so I can put my PS5 in there and just get a Radeon 7.
Yep.
Yes, immediately toss that PS5.
We've got another Hitman scene, but it produces the same results, effectively. The same performance differentials there. A big tree in Berlin.
Yeah, Radeon 7.
Which that totally doesn't look anything like the outskirts of Berlin, but yes.
Well, you say that, Alex, but as you know, that whole mission takes place within a Berlin discotheque.
This is true.
Which is very on brand for Berlin. Let's skip ahead to Alan Wake 2 here. Now, we've got problems here because there's no mesh shader support on the Radeon 7.
Oh, oh no. All right, let's get the PS5 back out.
Yeah. Basically, we'll talk about some of the more hilarious after effects of this, but yeah, the performance is not great. Basically, 49 FPS average, 50 FPS, let's say, on PlayStation 5, and it's 24.3 on the Radeon 7 there.
That's pretty low.
And less than half the performance of the PlayStation 5 there. But do you notice something a bit weird about the clip on the right there?
Oh, it's missing. It's missing. It's just like there's just polygon's not there. Like the tree, it's just like this weird.
Yep.
What the?
Yeah,
It's
prepared,
completely glitched
coloring
out. It's whoa, that's super broken.
I have prepared a secondary video for you here, so you can see basically the full capture in its glory. There, the initial scene you've got.
Oh my god! She has no body.
Best.
It's just a floating head and
there's
weapon.
no body. There's just and if you look at the,
it looks like some sort of Lovecraftian horror, like just the head with like all these entrails coming out.
This is genuine.
Yeah,
this is so creepy looking.
Basically, a lot of the geometry is warped or just vanished completely.
It's so like oh man, this reminds me of the creepy baseball man glitch from MLB The Show that one year.
Oh god, don't ever mention that.
Face,
I hate that thing. Oh god, that is the worst.
This is like bringing back like there's repressed memories.
Why did you even recall
I'm sorry,
that? That's
Alex.
awful.
It's the worst.
I hate that image.
Yeah, so let's just say that the Radeon 7 isn't performing great on Alan Wake 2, which is a bit of a
pour one out for the Radeon 7.
Shocker.
Let's go back to good news.
What's next?
With, Plague Tale Requiem. Yeah, which is interesting because here, let me bring up the stats once again. I mean, obviously the frame rate numbers. Yep, the frame rate numbers look pretty good. I mean, in theory, if the Radeon 7 was competing with the RTX 2080 back in the day, then it should be doing this, right? It should be producing results that are more comparable to the PlayStation 5. And let me just bring up the stats there. PS5 36.5%, 36.5 FPS average, and yeah, basically 97% of PlayStation 5 performance there on a Plague Tale. Okay. So, you know, it does have its moments. It can do some good stuff. I think, you know, well, we'll talk about some of the variances of the results here. I mean, I did do The Last of Us Part 1 as well.
Oh, is that the next one?
It is the next one.
Oh, yeah, I see
this particular cutscene, always under the 40 FPS.
It's very cinematic on the Radeon 7.
It is literally cinematic.
Yeah, they should just have a 24 FPS lock. Just to be done with it. But yeah, this is an example of what is we've described as a quote unquote bad port, because you can see there that the RX 6700, which is effectively the PlayStation 5 GPU in PC form, is massively underperforming.
Right.
And the Radeon 7 can't escape. It's just not great. Yeah, so we're looking at a 36.2 FPS average on PS5. Dropping to 24.8 on the Radeon 7, 68% of PS5 performance. So yeah, there's also another bit, a cutscene that follows this, which is just in gameplay. So
right,
and yeah, that's not great either. In fact, the differentials are worse.
Oh yeah.
63% now of the PS5's performance there.
You should Crossfire X that baby, Rich, to really unlock its full potential.
Yeah, there's a bonus clip at the end here with Cyberpunk running around the Cherry Blossom marketplace. This uses dynamic resolution scaling. Now, Alex, I'm pretty sure at this point that the DRS on PS5 doesn't work, because the reason I'm getting those sustained drops is because I'm running about. But if I just slow down, the performance drop is less pronounced. And if I stop, it's back to 60.
Yeah, I unless some weird streaming thing is happening, I can't imagine anything else.
Yeah.
Can you turn off motion blur in the game?
It's off here.
Oh, it is? Good.
Yeah.
Maybe you should hand me maybe that raw footage, and I'll do some counts on the PS5 version if you still have it raw.
Yeah, I've got
like it raw.
Yeah. Oh god, that's a good song.
And the final clip is the same thing, but without DRS active on the PC parts, where you can see that the 6700 performs very much like the PlayStation 5, but the Radeon 7 is like
a bit lower,
fairly slower. So again, that does suggest to me that DRS works on PC, but doesn't seem to work on PlayStation 5. But that's all of the results there. And what could I say? It's a really interesting example of the perils of old GPUs, I guess.
Right.
Because this is using the Vega technology from AMD, and they don't produce drivers for Vega anymore. And I think that's the reason why Alan Wake has that breakup. because there's no Alan Wake driver support for Vega, and that's producing those results there. So there are GPUs we've tested that do have support, RDNA 1 for example, and there's no breakup there, but it is slower.
A good deal.
I mean, I would say if
Yeah.
you really want, if Alan Wake 2 wasn't scary enough for your taste, then playing on a Radeon 7.
It would be even more terrifying.
Yeah, it is like some sort of weird journey to Trip Out City.
It kind of has that
like
look of like,
Lynchian,
is this what an AI dreams about when it thinks of Alan Wake 2? Like, it looks like some kind
Are
of...
you suggesting that the Radeon 7 here has gained sentience? And,
I mean, look at it. I bet one of these nights you're going to wake up, and come downstairs and peer into your office here, and it's going to be this big red glow, and you're like, what is that? And it's that little red thing in the corner there on the Radeon 7. It's going to be like sentient and glowing, and it's going to ask you to do a task for it, and then it will only multiply from there. So be careful.
It's gonna.
So I was quite happy with the results of this test, and also the idea, because I've always been a bit iffy about going back and re-reviewing old GPUs, because the temptation is to say how great they are, and you look at results like a Plague Tale, it's like, hey, this is holding up really, really well. And the reality is that when you start factoring in new technologies, new games, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, right? And that's not great. And similarly, back in the day when the Radeon 7 came out, 2019, the argument was that you could either buy one of these, which has got 16 gigs of RAM, or you could buy the RTX 2080, which had the DX12 Ultimate feature set, but only had 8 gigs of RAM. And
Right.
the concept was that over time the extra memory would be more important than the features. But you can play Alan Wake 2 on an RTX 2080 just fine. You can play Avatar at full speed even, and it works just fine. So there is something to be said about extra memory, but ultimately the features are kind of winning out there over the course of time there. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting. I mean, what was originally just going to be a joke item has actually turned into something quite interesting.
It is interesting. Just don't get that Radeon 7 too close to the dead Radeon 7, or you might have a nanite situation, kind of like if Wesley Crusher shows up at your house and wants to do some experiments, you might be in trouble.
What do they call them? The micro brains?
They're like,
what do they call
I thought they were just like the nanites, but
are you talking about the two that reproduced in the episode with
exactly.
the guy from Scrubs, Bob Kelso?
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Well, maybe my prior Radeon 7 gained sentience and just decided to end its existence.
It died on the day when I mistook the benchmark.
When you needed it the most.
Exactly.
It failed. It just said nope. And that was the end of that. So yeah, interesting stuff there. And thanks once again to Grizz86 for sending me this. It's hugely appreciated. And I've got to say, I still really like the design.
Beautiful
and I really
card,
like the finish, and the red lights are all really awesome. So yeah, it's good to have a working one back in the DF labs.